There's been quite a bit of discussion about my torturing my chickens and how they don't have any shade and I don't feed them. They're getting, I showed you the Tractor Supply seed, so I'm not going to show you that again, or the feed that they get, but they're getting a gallon of that stuff a day. And see what he's doing? Actually, she's eating. They're free ranging. Free ranging means you don't have to feed your birds, but I do anyway, because I want to make sure my little girl is laying eggs and gets enough protein. Although they have quite a bit of space here to run around, and I give them table scraps, I give them garden scraps, I give them bugs and worms that I find, I give them treats, I have bird seed that I sometimes give them. I give them all kinds of stuff all day, every day. Probably about 3-4 times a day they get something out here tossed in here to eat. And one thing is they're alive, so that must tell you something. Another big discussion is why I'm not getting eggs. I must be torturing my birds because they're not laying eggs. Well, these are all babies. They're 2.5 months old. So, except for the big roosters, the only adults I have... Where is she? Well, anyway, I don't see the adult hen I have. I don't see her here right now. She must be over somewhere else. She might even be in the chicken coop. Sometimes she tries to pretend to lay eggs. Well, anyway, the only adults I have, or the only one, is this little girl here. Little tiny rooster, and she's been laying eggs regularly for me. She started up again. Chickens go into what's called a molt, and then they don't lay eggs for a while. Now, the chickens have plenty of shade here most of the day. This is, I don't even know what time it is, but this will be shady up around to here until early afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then they'll have a couple hours where they have limited shade, but they hide behind the chicken tractor and the little pen I made for them underneath the water tank, and I've got some things, oops, one blew over. I've got some shade propped up here. So they're doing all right. And then around 3:30 in the afternoon again, they've got shade over here, which if I remember that later on today, I'll show you that, but they got shade over here. So, yeah, I watch out for them. I'm out here all day, every day with these birds. I come out and talk to them and check on them all the time and make sure they're all right. And why they follow me is because I handle them all the time, and because I'm always tossing them treats. And that's normal. They're going to follow me around because I hand raised them. I pick them all up every day and handle them a lot and make sure that they're tamed. I think it's cute when they follow me around. So hopefully that explains that I do love my birds and I care for them. Probably more than your average chicken farmer, by far. I don't think there's anybody else that picks up their birds all the time and talks to them. Right? Huh? I think that's a silky rooster. If they were afraid of me, as most chickens usually are, they wouldn't let me get close. Well, back to work. I just wanted to share that because I got a lot of negative feedback about my birds and how I'm torturing them and killing them. But I try my best, and no, I'm not too poor to feed them. That's not an issue. They're not expensive at all. The chicken feed is only, I think, $14 a week. Not a big deal. Not much at all. But again, I don't have to feed them because if they were starving, then all this grass would be eaten up, because this is chicken food right here. This is all chicken food. If the chickens were hungry, then they would have all that cut down to the ground and ripped dry. They would have that scratched right down to the bare dirt. And that should be in itself a good sign that they're not starving, because the growth is the plants are growing faster than the chickens can eat it, which is actually a good thing because I was worried about that in the beginning. But I'm also going to expand their range later on. Once I get the solar panels off the ground and properly installed, the chicken range is going to extend out even further, because later I'm going to split up. He always yells when I'm talking. Later I'm going to split up the birds into their various groups based on breed, and once they're old enough, because right now they're babies, and when they start laying eggs, which will be in about 6 to 8 months, then on average, then I'm going to split them up into their various breeds and start raising them for, not for food, but for sale. That's why I have them. And these guys are going to keep their heads for now, because they're good friends. They don't fight, and they're inseparable. So I'd hate to break them up. This is perfect cabinet framing. It's oak. Oh, it's amazing stuff. That's a nice looking board. Actually, I'd like to have that maybe as something visible. Sand that, varnish it. That'll be beautiful for shelving or something. It's going to be framing in my tiny house. And that's just plain kindling. Free wood. Build with it, burn it, use it. That's just cardboard on boards. Just stapled on. How weird, eh? I can rip that off easily when I get over there. Perfect stuff. Actually, cardboard will go straight to the garden. Hammer or a pry bar or something. Good usable lumber. It's supposed to rain today. I have to get this all put away. Severe thunderstorms, hail, damaging winds. Get this all put away before it comes. Wow, this looks really young here. I believe cardboard holds up that well. Wow. I'm right in the garden. Well, I have to break these down, but that's nice clean wood. Oh, that's really nice wood. To explain why I'm sort of hesitating here, if I leave these flat, ants will get in them and make nests inside in between the boards. I gotta figure a way to, I think standing them up will be best, but then they'll be susceptible to winds. I gotta figure a way to put these boards so that the ants won't nest in between the layers. I'm going to put some more loose lumber down first. Should have grabbed it first, but I wasn't sure until I got here. Look at this awesome construction material. Burnable lumber. Go off the side later. Stuff with too many nails and staples is going to be burnt. Good stuff for my framing will go here. Perfect framing lumber. Some of that even looks good. Once I sand that up, that's going to be really nice material. So I'm gonna unload this load and go get another. I have my wood in here. I did not bring those long pallets though, just the flat boards and the framing I'll use for my cabinetry later. The oak pieces. So there's some pine mix in there. But I also put up a tarp. This was laying over in the forest. It's filthy, but it's solid. And there's a new wall. Problem is, I noticed it puts a lot of force and strain on this roof. So I'm gonna have lunch and rehydrate because it's hot again. And then I'm gonna have to put some, I'm gonna put a rope from the top down to this pallet, underneath this pallet. I'm gonna tie it to the bottom pallet and up to the top of the tent. And then over here, I'm gonna tie a rope from the outside corner of the tent over to a tree. And same with this one, from this corner over to this tree, or even that tree. And that'll keep pressure on this tent to keep it down. Again, this corner, I'll go from this corner to this tree, and over here I'm not sure where I'll go, but I think best is I tie it down in all four corners to some trees, because we're supposed to get a serious storm tonight. And now with that side flap on here, it puts a lot of stress on this frame with the wind blowing. Now what I did, I took one of my logs that I had cut, it happened to be the right length, and I laid it, see that? Look at that, the wind is unrolling it. The wind is actually unrolling the tarp from that log. It's so powerful. So I gotta really get some more work done in here to secure that better. Because if we get any good strong wind, it's gonna be ripped to shreds. I might lose everything. So hopefully I can make this work. But it's lunchtime now. It is hot again. Got the wire running up. It's an air conditioner unit. It's cooling down the RV for me, making it livable. I'm working a lot indoors today. As I had said, I'm trying to earn money for my tiny home build, and so I'm not doing much outside today at all. And there was supposed to be a thunderstorm, so I didn't want to get all my tools out and be in the middle of something when it rained. So the dilapidated looking camper hasn't been touched today. So it's mostly indoor work. Now, as promised, it's early afternoon and it looks like the chickens are all in the sun. Well, they are. That's just because I walked up here. Now over here, they're in the shade. So I just haven't been showing this on video. Usually you'll see me standing in some section of the chicken coop, but they're doing all right, I think. I've got ants on me. They've got either morning shade or afternoon shade, and then I got some shelter for in between places just in case they need it. So they'll be all right. Yeah, so they're doing fine. I just bring it back over here and show you how much shade they have in the afternoon. It's these trees, unfortunately, are causing me trouble this year like never before. They're growing in and expanding in towards the meadow. See, these trees weren't overhanging like this last year, not this bad. I'm going to have to do some trimming because I'm not going to get as much solar as I had last year either. This is not good, not good at all. It's good for the chickens, it's bad for my solar. I only get a couple hours of sunlight now each day on the solar panels. I remember last year I had 9 to 5 sunlight. I'm not getting it now. No way. Something's different. Gotta figure out what's changed. I know trees are expanding because all this is new growth. This is a lot of new growth here. And I've been trimming. Anyway, I'm getting back inside. Get back to work.